This is the Iowa Weather Report for Wednesday, April 15th, 2015. And now our first look at the Zero-Z GFS model run at 1 p.m. this afternoon. Big upper level feature over the Rockies. And that's going to be producing quite a bit of wintry precipitation up in the mountains. It's going to be bringing us some chances of some precipitation around here as well, mainly in the form of some rain. You can see that over Missouri, Kansas, a little bit of precipitation there. Better chances of precipitation along the Gulf Coast, the Carolinas, and back off in the west as well. Most of that in the form of some high mountain snow. And that system is going to be slowly moving to the east. It'll be moving fairly slow. Thursday looks to be somewhat dry, although we cannot rule out an isolated shower or storm, mainly in the afternoon. We could see some peaks of sunshine. Highs today and tomorrow will be mainly in the 60s to around 70. Warmer if we get any sunshine. Friday, that system draws a bit closer, so the chances will start to increase of showers and maybe a thunderstorm. Temperatures likely still remaining in the 60s for the most part. Any sunshine may boost readings close to 70. Then heading into the weekend here on Saturday, it looks rather wet, clouds around, highs in the 60s, maybe lower 60s if we get quite a bit of clouds and quite a bit of precipitation around. And then as we go into Sunday, still rather rainy, showery, and you see a cold front is kicking the system out to the east, but it's also going to be bringing some cold air down from Canada, and that's going to bring the temperatures way down as we move into next week. You can see Monday we'll be in the swaths of the cold air. Temperatures will be down into the 50s for highs, maybe even cooler than that, maybe close to 50. We'll have some backwash clouds around as well, so that'll keep the temperatures down. And then a disturbance is going to be approaching from the west. You see that here on Tuesday. We'll still be dry most of the day on Tuesday, but clouds will be on the increase with this disturbance coming in. And Tuesday night into early next Wednesday, we could have some precipitation around, coming around the base of this upper level feature you see here by next Wednesday. It's going to be located just to the east of Winnipeg, and that's just a lot of cold air just going around and around. Maybe you could consider it the polar vortex, but it's not very polar. But it is going to bring a lot of Canadian air down. A system is going to come through. It should be east of the state by Wednesday afternoon and evening of next week. But it could bring us some rain and maybe a little bit of wintry precipitation Tuesday night. We'll see. Going into the extended period, you can see a trough moving along the east coast, and the zonal flow is returning, so the cold air is lifting out at this point as we move toward the middle and latter half of the month of April. You can see the cold air starting to retreat. Any rain or maybe some snow up, especially in northern New England, and rain showers moving across the Great Lakes will be slowly lifting out as the temperatures begin to warm back towards seasonal levels as we move toward the end of the month. And at the end of the forecast, around the 29th or so, we have a trough axis over the west, a trough just off the east coast, and a big system moving across Quebec. In between, we have a bit of a ridge, and that's going to bring temperatures up again, maybe back to around 70, but it's also going to be bringing us a storm system that could bring us some showers and thunderstorms at that time. It looks to be rather non-severe for the next week and a half or so, but toward the end of the month, we might see it coming back again, we'll see. Satellite image from last evening, we had some high and mid-level clouds from the state of Iowa, south and east. A lot of precipitation along the Gulf Coast, and that's going to be continuing for the next couple of weeks or so. That system over the Intermountain West slowly moving in our direction brought a lot of dust storms and wind out there. You can see that with the watch morning map from last evening. Lots of high wind warnings, wind advisories out there, some winter weather issues as well along the Wasatch up to around Yellowstone. The wind advisories extending out into the plains. Fairly quiet elsewhere, a flood watch around the Gulf Coast, and you'll see why. The QPF chart precipitation over the next 5 days through, Sunday evening at 7 o'clock, showing quite a bit of precipitation down in the Gulf Coast. Around here, about a half to 3/4 of an inch.